Hi, my name's Phil. I like to talk about politics, also social media, specifically YouTube, like here. The BBC published an article explaining that YouTube content creators in Britain contributed over £2 billion to the UK economy last year. Or, to put it in terms which most people can relate to, British-based YouTube creators brought in double the money of the entire UK fishing industry. So why won't the government acknowledge it as a viable career? Well, maybe things are starting to change. But first, for daily news and politics, please click the subscribe button to stay notified. So if you're thinking, Phil, I know you like banging on about YouTube, but it usually has a political angle. What gives? Well, so does this. Hidden in the article explaining that content creators contribute billions to the economy and support tens of thousands of jobs in the UK was mention of a new APPG. What the hell is an APPG? Glad you asked, although it does mean you weren't paying attention when I talked about electoral reform a while ago. So an APPG is an all-party parliamentary group. These are groups of MPs who band together to promote the interests of some cause that they are motivated to promote. As the name suggests, it's not party political. MPs of any and all parties can get involved, and MPs can be members of multiple APPGs. The largest group is the Group for Fair Elections, but a new group has formed specifically to promote YouTube content creation as a profession and help lobby for changes that we need to make the career easier to get into. I'm afraid I can't tell you how large the group is because I didn't even know it existed until I read about it this morning. Not that I'm sore about not being told. It's fine. All I know is there is at least one MP in the group because you need at least 8 parliamentarians to form an APPG, but only at least one MP. The rest can come from the Lords. But hopefully there are actually several MPs. Not that the only MP I follow on YouTube bothered to mention it on his channel, so I don't know if Liam Byrne is even involved. It would be a little bit mad to think that one of the tiny number of MPs who actually engages with YouTube professionally is not part of the group himself. But then politics is pretty crazy these days. But anyway, enough prattle about MPs who may or may not be more than one in number, helping YouTube creators and would-be creators get treated like the double the economic force of the entire fishing industry that we are. What do we actually need Parliament and the government to do? Well, as explained in the article, YouTube mostly boils down to the idea of pointing a camera at something, hitting the record button and then uploading it for the delectation of all you lovely people. Now, if like me, you point that camera at your own grizzled expression within the comfort of your shed or office, this isn't a problem. But lots of people like to record in public. That can cause problems depending on where you're recording. Sometimes you need permits, and those are a hassle to obtain. I would also say, even within the news and politics sphere, there are some of us covering the news, but we are shut out of the normal process. Trump invites social media creators to his press conferences, but that is only because he's packing the room out with his sycophants. But the general idea is good. Why should traditional outlets, who are very much in decline, get access to politicians and the new kid on the block not do so? And it's not an issue of fairness. You would think it's in the interests of those politicians because those content creators have access to an audience that is not consuming its understanding of what the government are doing from the legacy media. Now, these issues are not a problem for me. I'm a hermit. I'm not exactly your roving reporter type. It involves contact with oxygen and people. But there are plenty out there who would like to do that, and they face barriers to what might otherwise be a viable career. I mean, just to give you an example of what I mean, do you know who Daniel Zeichner is? No, of course you don't. Being honest, neither do I. But he's a government minister. Well, what's that got to do with anything, Phil? Will you talk sense for once? He is specifically the UK's fisheries minister. We have a member of the government whose job it is to help the fishing industry, which is worth only half of YouTube creators in this country. And that's like his day job. He gets a desk and everything, possibly even a laptop. He works on policies, drafts legislation, meets with industry representatives, and he does this exclusively for the benefit of fisherfolk. UK fishing gets a minister all to itself to lobby for them. Well, according to this report, we content creators, and this is just YouTube, remember, this is not across all social media, just YouTube contributes double the GDP to our economy, and it supports more jobs than the entire country's fishing industry. Where's our minister? Where's our minister? We don't even have a minister who deals with YouTube as part of their brief, much less all of it. But we at least have an APPG now, which has at least one MP on it, though I assume more and hope significantly more, which is immensely hopeful, although it has taken long enough. I mean, YouTube content creators are literally twice as productive as the entire fishing industry, which gets its own ministry, and we've done it on our own. Absolutely zero help from any institution other than YouTube themselves. By the way, I'm not mentioning the fishing industry all the time in a disparaging way. It's just an insanely good example of an industry's influencing government, even though it's only worth half of another source of productivity, which is actually growing. I'm afraid to say fishing since Brexit is shrinking, right? And the government are completely ignoring it. Pro-growth government. They say they're a pro-growth government. Why ignore a growing industry which is already worth more than an entire ministry? Imagine how much it could contribute if we had recognition at the government level, and it's not like we need much. Quite a lot of the things that content creators need are the sort of things that some other professionals need who already get government help. You know, just help out in line with other professions. We just need to be counted amongst them. But let me know what you think in the comments below. And for more content, you could subscribe to the channel or even join for access to streams and behind the scenes updates. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later.